Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benefactor at Chaotic Neutral Games. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Kate, Felicia, Nick, and Corinne with their adventures in Illyria. Don't forget that you can help or indeed hinder by using your channel points in the game. Check out the options in the chat bar. You can also join the chaos by clicking the Discord link below, or vote towards the session twist by becoming a subscriber. So let's rejoin the players as they play the latest episode of the Benefactor. And welcome back, everybody, and welcome to our players.
Hello.
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 Hi.
We live somehow.
So, how is everybody? You would have thought that we would ask this question beforehand, but no, it is a complex procedure starting this stream. There's lots of technical conversation. Okay, we were talking about WoW, but there were other conversations.
I mean, you say we.
Well, they were talking about WoW.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I finally got all my school books I've been reading today.
Yeah.
The science book is pretty interesting, actually. I like how they've written it because there is not a lot of statements, but a lot of facts supported by research.
Yeah.
I
Knowing
prefer
how
reading the
things get
science Django over the I think this and this and this. I'm just like, no, I don't like people saying what they think. I hate reading
I don't
that.
want your opinions. I want the facts.
I want facts.
Oh, we're doing well, Minion. I hope you're good. And Hermit, good to see you guys in chat. I think Jordan said he was going to be here as well.
Oh, and thank you, Hermit. So yeah, I had the fond farewell of my one job today. So I've left the one lab and I'm starting the next on Monday. So yeah, expect a fitter or more exhausted DM because I'm going to be cycling to work every day now. I'm going to be doing a minimum of 12 miles cycling every day.
Is that British miles or real miles?
British miles.
British
He's
miles.
not talking about like actual miles.
Why do you use the word? Why do you use the word miles in a metric system?
Because a mile is 10 kilometers.
Yeah, 1 mile is 10 kilometers.
I've never heard of a metric mile.
You've got to remember that metric mile is just a silly thing made from a silly land for silly people. And that everywhere else in Europe uses kilometers because they're all metric.
Yeah.
Except for the Swedes who were like, well, we are... Oh, that's German. We are metric, but you know what? Fuck it. We like the imperial words, so let's keep that.
Oh, we use kilometers, but when you hit 10 kilometers, it's a mile, and that's that's in English as well. Like in Germany, you have 10 kilometers is a mile.
Yeah,
that's a thing. Interesting. Either way, I'm going to be doing a lot of cycling, so
that is why I'm confused because
you'll either have a healthy DM or a dead one.
Every time I talk to an English person, it's like, okay, do you mean real miles or fake miles that are super short?
How is it the Genasi cleric has the lowest hit points of a party consisting of a warlock, a rogue, and a sorcerer?
I don't know.
Is that true? It's got to be true. The overlay.
Farewell's currently on 70. Yeah, he's 77.
Yeah, he only has +1 Constitution. That's why.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because Eclipse got 2, the sorcerer has 2, and you get extra hit points from being like a dragon sorcerer, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course,
We're
yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
better at rolling
Good.
dice.
Yeah.
As well.
I don't roll dice because rolling dice is dumb.
Says the person playing.
I'm not going to say,
game.
oh, so you cheat then.
No.
I wouldn't possibly say that.
No, I meant with hit points.
Yeah,
I just take
I'm
damage.
actually pretty good at Constitution, you know. I have a +2,
Yeah,
and I get extra.
Yeah, Glory has a lot of Constitution. I knew Glory was already set up because I remember her building Glory at the beginning. I was
She
there
has
thinking
like no
dragon
AC.
scales and good Constitution, which, you know, if you're playing a sorcerer or a
16
warlock,
AC
you're
at
supposed to
level 11 is
have
not great.
Constitution because you're gonna need it.
Yeah, I'm not getting a good armor class anyway, so I need the hit points.
Yeah,
Yep.
your armor class is very bad.
Yeah. So when we left off last week. It's been a week. When we left off last week, Nick was looking after a member of the family, and glad to see that everything's going well there. And so that left Felicia, Kate, and Corinne to carry on with the next part of this night, which has taken a few sessions, but hell, you know, we're enjoying it. So after the ceremony, you guys went to a large formal dinner. Gloria's up front, sat between Excellence, her rival, and Hope. During that conversation, a mage of the Red Dragonflight came up and threw some deliberate oration, declared through etiquette, or at least insulted a black dragon to his face and threatened him to his face in gentle language. Glory, Hope, and Excellence caught on this straight away and started ruminating a plot to find this dragon mage, who may be a dragon himself in disguise, and to kidnap him and to get him to issue an apology, thereby hopefully preventing a war, or at least giving a means by which the Convocation can step in and tell both sides to stand down.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you, Jordan.
We will be doing that in a minute.
Jordan.
I was about to say, I think I might need my phone from the bedroom if we're doing the loop bomb.
I can ferry it.
Okay, cheers. In the rest of the meal, we had Kate Cora, who was sat across from Amelia Seven, a mage of the a shield mage specifically. She can make walls out of pure force. Thank you very much. She can make walls out of pure force using magic, and that's her specialist subject. And for some reason, she was chosen to be ambassador to attend this. And it started off with a simple small talk with Cora. I did reveal that the reason why Amelia, one of the backup NPCs, turned up is that Farewell put the person who was going to be sat there under a geas, and they are now going off and considering their life choices.
Apologizing profusely to the summer court. Thank you.
Yes, she's writing a profuse apology to the summer court present. Which, considering she's a winter courtier, she's not going to like, but that's fun. So, Cora got given a backup character, and the small talk was going well. It was going to show a little bit about the politics, but then the next conversation came in between Eclipse of the Moon and Professor Herbert Brandwise. So Glory had decided that one of her old magical artifacts, history of magical artifacts lecturers, should be sat across from Eclipse, being that he knew about many things, including the Heart of Juradan. That came to light after a while, although Eclipse started winding up her, taking her chances with getting locked up yet again in this.
I haven't done anything too bad, actually.
You insulted Hope again.
No, I didn't insult Hope. No.
You called a member of the royal family an idiot across a formal dining table.
Yes, and I said I love you afterwards.
Yeah, it's So, oh yes, and you also accused the nation of, what was it, slavery, oppression, and child abuse. So it was an interesting conversation.
Eclipse is very
thankfully. When you found out that he was an expert in magical artifacts, the Heart of Duradan came up. He started to share his opinions of it, which were very full of bluster, typical university man, and that's different to a university student, by the way. University man is very different. During that, Eclipse did an eclipse and started telling all. Pulled out her canopic jars, showed everybody that she was on the path.
Showed the map, I'm pretty sure, as well.
No, I haven't shown the map. I haven't shown the map.
I don't think she's shown that.
You showed the map to the boy at the dinner
I
table.
I showed the map to Chiron because
Curiosity.
You don't even know that name.
Yep, that name is
Corinne knows it
forever.
and will say the wrong name because I call my students the wrong name all the time, so just accept it.
They must love that. Nick, the word Chiron, the name Chiron, is completely obliterated from your memory now. Every time the word Chiron has ever been said in your life, it's now replaced by the word curiosity.
Though, question is, would we not resist that type of mind magic, considering we had our memories, so we would have some sort of save against it? Would we had our memories tempered with before?
Nope, this is top level stuff. This is use of an insanely powerful spell. Why it needs to be this way, you don't know, but it is something that it doesn't matter where you are in Illyria. You could be on another plane of existence, and you would no longer remember the name Chiron. So, whilst that was going on, Amelia overheard the conversation because it wasn't being said quietly, and she got interested. Now the White Dragonflight are also interested.
Yes, and she asked if I would like to work with the White Dragonflight, and Cliff said, "No thanks, no more evil dragon, please."
Yeah, at which point her reaction was, "Who told you we were evil?"
I mean, your actions, but you know.
You don't know anything about her. You don't know anything about her queen.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
They're colored dragons.
During this time, Nick, you have been present for most of this. You've been overhearing the conversation. However, you have been slightly waylaid, even though you're sat almost diagonal to each other. So it's kind of like, I'll say it's probably going to be Cora, Eclipse, Farewell, and then that would mean that it's Amelia, Herbert, and then the person in front of you. So in front of you, to the right of Eclipse, is an older woman. You looking at her, you're trying to determine maybe what species she might be. She's not human. She's got a bluish grey skin, kind of like a kind of mossy green lips. You don't know whether that is some form of magic or some form of cosmetic.
I do have true sight.
In that case, you know it's definitely not magic. And she's got kind of long flowing hair going down to her shoulder blades, but it looks thin. Well, it looks dry, brittle, almost like scarecrow hair. She seems to be made out of shoulders, elbows, and kneecaps, in that her joints are slightly swelled and bulbous. Her limbs themselves seem to be quite thin, but she seems to have an energy and even a little bit of strength about her. But we'll get into that. So, who should we start with?
We ended with a long thing with Glory, so
Yeah,
Probably
maybe you
Farah.
can recap a little bit of that in case. Or did they even hear it from way back?
No, they didn't hear a single thing.
Okay,
No.
good. Then just jump into the backdrop because we did end on a lot of glory. So I'm
Yeah.
fine with taking the backseat for the first half here.
The whole hall will only know when someone does the equivalent of tapping a wine glass and does a big speech, at which point everybody shuts up. But for most of the formal meal, you're all talking amongst yourselves. I'm going to go to Nick then, give him a bit of screen time, and then
Yeah.
we'll start bouncing around the various conversations. It looks like Cora's and Eclipse's have kind of merged anyway. But Nick, you can
Farewell.
Farewell can overhear Cora and
I can read lips, so I don't even
Eclipses.
need to hear. I
yep.
could just look around the room and just stare at people's faces.
Oh yeah,
and be
if
like,
there's a particular person, if you want, you can just read the lips of a particular person. I will say that Eclipse, Glory, and Hope are facing away from you, so it'll be harder to read their lips unless one of them turns to the other. Yeah.
There, can I don't know if this is. You might be about to say this, Nick, Simon. So apologies if you are, but there was a mention of a sword quivering, and that Farewell had seen it.
yes.
Yeah.
So then Nick does.
That the evil undead sword was
Yeah.
quivering.
oh, joy. Just
yeah.
what I need to know.
So I was kind of
Yeah.
going to ask how much Nick saw of the VOD or how much you remembered from the VOD, but yeah,
I
there
can
was a
barely
point.
remember yesterday.
That's fine. There's a point where a dickhead mage that got pointed out before Excellence would have pointed out to Glory in the reception. So a mage that's in a robe that's stylized to look like scales walked up to the head table, and even with all the distractions, you would have suddenly just felt a little, I don't know, uncomfortable feeling, and you would have looked over and you would have seen that Furiosity's sword is almost vibrating erratically.
Oh, Simon, considering Farewell has True Sight on, does that reveal if that guy's a dragon or not?
Does True Sight see through shapeshifters?
Let me have a look.
And how far does it see into the ethereal realm?
I think as far as I can see.
Okay.
Yeah, notice secret doors hidden by magic can see into the ethereal realm. Out to a range of 120 feet.
Okay. Good to know. So, yeah, in that case, Farewell. When you see the sword vibrating, you also see that angry, screaming faces start floating out of the blade, gnashing their teeth and rolling their eyes in reaction to something that's going up at the front there. It's in the ethereal realm, which is where ghosts are supposed to be. But this in the ethereal realm, this thing has a huge necromantic aura.
There's like this
Yes,
audible like groan from where like Farewell is sitting, and he's just staring at the sword for a moment before just like putting his head into his hands and just massaging the front of his forehead. And
Yes.
just contemplating how he always ends up being the one that notices like the nasty stuff.
And yes, Simon, True Sight says perceives the original form of Shapechanger.
Okay.
Mm.
Sure. That changes something because Farewell, where
Mhm.
you see Freynia, you also see superimposed the giant black dragon that you saw before. And
Yeah, I'm trying not to look at that one. It's kind of that one where, like, you know, where you look forwards, but like right at the corner of your eye, you can kind of see it, and you just don't want to look in case it's
Yeah.
real.
And
So
where the red mage was, you see around about 12 foot of You're guessing young adult red dragon. You can also see in the room a few fae and other such creatures who, when you look at them, superimposed on them, you can see their true form. I'm trying to think. There's 2 werewolves and 1 were-tiger in the room at the moment. And I'm trying to think who other representatives would be here. Mostly, I was happy for them to be in the background, but yeah, you can see that there's a host of people who are not what they seem to be, and that includes the woman that sat across from you. You can see 2 versions of herself. Both are very close to each other, so she's only shapeshifted a little. The version that you can see as the original form has a slightly more kind of hooked nose. She's got slightly sharper teeth. Her fingernails are longer and thicker, and black instead of the beautifully manicured things that you can see. She has her eyes, which are a beautiful blue, kind of like a beautiful pearly blue, actually are a kind of sickly yellow-green. Yeah, you're sat across from a hag.
Mm.
And she's talking to you, so let's get into that scene.
There's this definite moment where there's quite a stern look towards Glory, where he's just going in his head. He's just like, "I am really going to have to word with you. There will be a conversation, a long one."
Mr. Barebones, isn't it?
He's just there's that like good minute or two where he just stares, because of course you can see the real part of her. Yes.
I have a secret. I've been dreaming of you.
Please tell me Cora's not in earshot. Please tell me Cora's not in earshot.
Oh, she sure as fuck is.
She's two people to the right of you.
Yeah, I look over to see if she's paying. I look over to see if she's paying attention.
Eclipse is talking loud enough about the Heart Jordan at this point.
Yeah,
so
I think maybe you're okay, because maybe she's trying to because the thing is bringing out all of the freaking chaotic jars and various things. I'm like, I think I might have been at this point saying something like, "This is a dinner table. This is not the appropriate time to bring out organs. Put them away."
They're talking to a deep gnome, so you're good for a second. And
yeah, so yes. I turn back. Thank you.
It's okay. People just pop in.
Sandrine Delanoy. And she puts her hand out. What do you do to the hand?
I do that really awkward bit. I do that really awkward bit where, like, I grab the illusion and, like, don't squeeze quite enough to get the real hand. Like, if I knew, like, it was just, I could.
Not an illusion. She's a shapeshifter.
Oh,
so you've seen the original shape, but when you put your hand out, the only physical thing is her current shape.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, I don't want to do it, but it's just like, don't tremble, don't tremble, don't tremble, don't tremble, don't tremble.
Oh, such strong hands.
And let go. Slightly back.
Not Delanoy by birth, of course. That was arranged. Politics, you know, marriage of alliance. But I like to think that I have been a faithful wife, providing for my husband. He, of course, is away. Matters of state, you understand. But I thought I would attend this most illustrious event. There's going to be a little while until the next one, of course. And I do, unfortunately, succumb to the ravages of time.
You can see that she has an elegant dress and her jewelry is well matched. But, you know, you can't polish a turd. It's one of those things that, you know, even with the shape-shifting, the thing in front of you is not exactly pretty.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm. Oh boy.
It's okay, Mr. Barebones.
Thank you.
I'm only going to do for you what I do for my husband.
Cora catches just that little moment, you know, when you sort of just catch a part of a conversation. She just hears that, just looks, just kind of looks.
She slides her hand insidiously across the table with something underneath it and says,
"It's uncouth to reveal it on the table. Give me your hand."
And she's going to try and palm whatever's under her hand into yours.
There's this, like, and at this point, like, because he's got a -2 charisma, so just there's no deception there whatsoever. Like, there's this look of abject horror on his face. The color is draining away, and there's this very slow hand that just reaches out across the table like, "Oh, please don't make me lose a finger. Please don't make me lose a finger. I've only just gotten this body. I died a week ago."
Please spam it in chat. Can we get some thermal panics in chat, please?
They're in there. You know, she takes your hand and then very quickly slips something into your hand, and she goes,
"Hold it."
And your hand grips around what seems to be a collection of small bits of wood and stone.
Good. Yes. I can feel it. Yes. Our connection is growing. I can hear the voices now. I can hear them. They're crying your name. I hear them in the dark. Once you have gone as deep as I have, Mr. Barebones, you can learn to hear and embrace the darkness, Yes, I can feel them. They cry out to you.
At that, you begin to see, like, that familiar, like, veil breaker smoke just begin to billow out of the creases in, like, the suit that he's got on, and it's like coalescing around his hand because the panic is just setting in, and just subconsciously he's like, knife and get out, knife and get out. So it's beginning to just like all billow out as she's talking.
I am subconsciously talking to Eowyn and be like, could you just check on Farewell that he's not about to like start a fight or something. He's looks like he's panicking more than usual. Just maybe whisper in the ear and just let me know if he's okay. So I'm sending her over to
a
like
nice lady to hold hands with. That's very nice. Anyway.
Eowyn, because you've done all this in mind speech, because you can do that with Eowyn. She flits over and I'm trying to think, would she land on Farewell? No, Farewell's looking panicked and she doesn't want him to jump out of his skin.
And like there's like black smoke billowing out of his collar and his cuffs as he's trying to summon it, trying to stop, and he's caught somewhere in the middle. Like it's like there's this smoke and then it stops, And it starts again, and he's like, no, yes, I don't know, I want out, bad touch.
Eowyn says to Cora, he's got something in his hand. I don't know if it's cursed or not. Is that his smoke, or is that other smoke?
It's probably his smoke. Is he summoning the knife? Is he?
I don't know. The knife isn't here.
Wait. Oh, is not the knife in his hand?
No. He's holding something else. I can't see it. I can
he
only see
reached
little
across.
bits.
What
One's kind
gave him
of
something?
weird and dry, and the other one's kind of shiny. I don't know. He's got like a few of them in his hand.
Okay. Just let him know that you're there, and if he needs you to, or me to. Oh.
Yes.
I can't
Call
speak to his
lots.
mind. I can only do that. I can't speak to his mind. Only you can.
Okay. Can you whisper in his ear?
He'll hit the roof.
True.
Well, she's correct.
I have the message spell if you want to like ignore.
You're oblivious. You just think he's holding hands with a
Yeah,
nice
I
lady.
know, but it like Cora can whisper to me and then I can message him.
Oh, just keep an eye. Stay near her there. I got
At
a
least I
strange
think I
person
got
in the
the
way.
spell.
This, just
I'll keep
let
an
me
eye.
know if he's about to explode into something. Okay.
Cora, that I don't want to alarm you, but this woman, she's Fae. She's more powerful than I am. I don't know what kind.
Yes, I do have a message.
Okay, no. It's a dinner party. We're not meant to start any fights. We just sit here. He's just panicking like he would normally at formal
Okay,
occasions.
I'm going to keep an eye on him. I don't
Yeah.
want her I don't want her charming him.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. Sorry. What were
Everything's
you
fine.
saying? Yeah. No, I was distracted by something else.
Oh yes, the
white
so
things.
the Alabaster River. Obviously, it's not a river. It's actually a path that goes through the city, and
Good.
she carries on describing the
And I'm
capital
not
city
really
that is run
listening,
by
just-
Almeria the White. Almeria is the elder white dragon, and Emilia, because it sounds a lot like Almeria. She's already
Sounds
mentioned that
incredibly
she's
confusing.
named because of the similarity, because it sounds like her queen. And Almeria does actually present herself as a queen, whereas Zarian and Frania don't.
Right.
They just present themselves as dragons.
So though it's important to know that Freyr is not the elder black dragon.
No, the elder black dragon is Zarian, and Frania is one of the higher
we know
dragons
this
of
now?
the black dragonfly.
Yes, we do.
You've
It's
been.
basic history.
Yeah, so we're,
didn't go to school.
we're stating it now, but it is that would have been mentioned in one of the many
yeah.
droning speeches that's been along. That it goes. There's a whole kind of hierarchy, but then it goes kind of. Freynia's in like the second tier, and then at the very top is Zarian. Zarian looks. He's probably the least humanoid looking of all of the dragons in the humanoid form. He looks like one of the gentlemen from the Buffy episode. But yeah, he's a weird one. We won't go into Zarian at the moment because he's not here.
No,
Anyway,
sure.
you carry on talking to Emilia, and
But he was present at Glorious
I'm distracted by a lot of things. Eclipse stuff.
There's a lot going on.
Farewell. Thing. Whatever's happening at the head table. How long is this going to take? Oh, this food is nice, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I can tell, Mr. Barebones, that you have dabbled in the divination arts yourself. You have walked. You have. What is that? I can't see it. But no, you have. You've been close. You've been close to the voices that speak out. They are. Oh, of course. Your family. How terrible.
At the mention of my family, I pull my arm back, open my hand, and just like, and there's this like audible sort of like sound of chair legs scraping backwards.
Edward?
And I've just stood up, like completely like just staring at her.
2 teeth, 2 what seem to be perfectly preserved and now somehow lacquered eyes, and 2 patches of rough desiccated skin fall to the table.
Oh, I knew it would be terrible because it's a hag, and I touched it.
Do you say this out loud?
As it drops,
He's got
A
no,
hag?
he's got
Who's a
no
hag?
subtlety about him, so he's just like, I knew it would be terrible. Why did I touch it?
Sandrine squeaks, "Sisters!" and scoops the items up, puts them in her hand, and looks genuinely upset. When you start using the word hag, you can see her lips starting to quiver.
Sorry to clarify, I just said I can't believe I touched it. That was genuinely unpleasant.
Okay, so no one said the word hag. Okay.
No one said the word hag.
In that case, she goes, "You could have just refused, Mr. Barebones. You could have just refused."
I didn't know what you were doing, and you should ask before you start poking around in someone's heads.
"I'm not in your head, Mr. Barebones. I'm a seer. I can't avoid the sight. I could link it to you, and I felt that I had answers that you didn't have. I just want to be useful again, Mr. Barebones. I'm barely useful for my husband anymore. He doesn't really do anything anymore.
And there is very less creepy ways to do that than sound like you're either going to stab me then eat me or abuse me in some way. It was very creepy. I was very scared.
I didn't mention that at all.
Why are you upsetting this very nice old woman? What are you doing, Farewell? Why are you upsetting this very nice old woman?
He's a little unstable at the moment. You know, he recently died, so he's a little
Yes, he recently
touchy.
died.
Yeah, so sorry.
Oh no, poor. I like get up because I think I'm like right next to her.
You're literally
and
next
I
to her.
give her
You
a
can-
hug.
Yeah.
Dying can be traumatic, I suppose. I'm
I'm
terribly sorry,
next-
Mr. Barebones. I'm a silly old woman. I'm poking in where I'm not wanted.
I Simon, I'm sitting next to the old woman, am I?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I give her like a side hug. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it's okay.
You try to stay valid and stay current and not fall behind the times and become a dinosaur, a fossil. And that's what I am. I'm just a fossil these days, and I try to do my best.
Farewell, are you okay? Do you need to walk something off?
Yes. He just turns around, walks forward, and like, there's no door here. It turns back around and just like, someone tell me where the door is.
Oh, there's two huge fucking double doors at the end of the.
It's the true sight. It's like really fucking with him because it's like you can see through the walls.
So yeah.
And he's just like, no, I can't do
Door,
it.
please. Lead me to it.
I'm so sorry.
point.
He needs help to the bathroom sometimes, and I'm just gonna scoop him and try and like drag him out, hoping that like is anybody else? Is anybody else like? Is everyone else seated? Are we like? You know, like the scream of that chair was that like the loudest. It's just like
You're standing at a formal dinner, but you know you can see that one or two other people have kind of got up to kind of answer messages.
Okay,
or whatever.
cool, yeah.
So you're not the first person to have been done it, but you do rise out of the crowd, and well, not you, Cora. Because
everybody's staring at you.
Yeah, not me.
Glory's glaring daggers
Cora's
at you.
near invisible because when she gets down off her chair, she can't be seen over the seated human.
So I just grab his hand and like
Farewell
drag
is
him along.
walking out.
I need my emotional support halfling.
Yes.
And you're gonna leave Eclipse.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a shit as we walk away. You're like,
I'm not so much.
Once.
I'm not so much like being led. I'm dragging. Like Farrell's like 6'3", and so he's just taking these huge strides, and he's just like, come on.
Okay, we are leaving Eclipse. Oh god.
In a sudden turn of fate, Herbert Brandwise, who up until then has had a kind of on-off with Eclipse, is suddenly drawing ranks with Eclipse and going, well, you see, I'm sure he just didn't understand your gifts, you see. Some people just don't understand other cultures. And you, my lady, of course,
clearly well traveled, and look at the wonderful style that you're wearing, and maybe the cleric there too much time in the old books with the old gods. You see,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
He's not. He tries his best, but sometimes his emotion he can get very panicky.
I'm good at one thing ever since the passing of my sisters.
Oh, I heard you mention something about family. He gets he's really touchy about his family.
Well, he should do. They're in a lot of trouble.
How do you mean? How are they in trouble?
They're trapped.
Where? Where are they? They're trapped.
They're trapped in the plane of existence. There's someone enslaved them there.
What existence?
This is perfect. Eclipse has a task. She's like, ooh, an adventure.
Shiny.
I don't know. I know it's not on this one. It's rather dark, and I know that it's one of the worst.
The Shadowfell?
It felt like the Shadowfell. I went there with my husband once on holiday.
On holiday?
Yep, that sounds about right.
It's not a holiday. It's not.
We went skeet shooting for zombies. It was lovely. It was
Okay.
It had the same feel, you know, dark, dingy, all that kind of thing. You have to bring your own color, and they were calling out to him, and I had a dream, and I thought I could help him, but I needed him to be in contact with all. Probably best not to mention them again.
Your sisters, did you say?
Probably best not to mention them again, and I better put them back in my purse. And she slips.
Do you have your sisters in your purse?
Please don't mention them. And this is where Professor Brandwise goes, for God's sake, woman, she said don't mention them. Terribly sorry about that. Tabaxi, don't you know? As if it wasn't fucking obvious that a huge cat is a tabaxi. Tabaxi, don't you know? I'm terribly sorry, but I don't think they've been to many formal dinners. I don't know if that's much of an excuse. Where's the little one gone? But yeah,
she went with Farewell.
Probably for the best. Probably giving him a good talking to, and telling him how to talk in polite society. Yes, but
yes, because Farewell needs to talk.
Anyway, Professor Herbert Brandwise, that is, pleasure to me. Oh, Sandrine d'Illinois, and so they start making each other's acquaintance. You said Tabaxi. You said
Eclipse of the Moon.
Eclipse of the Moon. What a pretty name.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to die. No, that's not you. It's okay. Sorry. But yes.
I mean, yes, we all die eventually, but
no, I was going to go tonight, but no, it's fine. It's fine. It's not you.
Oh no. Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure I might die.
It's just someone who looks a lot like you. That's all. But
oh no, my sister.
Does she have horns?
No.
No, not her then. She's fine. Yeah. No, horns. Actually, doesn't look a great deal like you because you have no wings. Sorry, Tabaxi, wasn't it? Sorry, I'm all of a flutter.
Horns and
What is that? The wine? Oh, there we go.
That was.
Tipple down. Lovely. Oh dear. You try to help. Anyway, you seem like a cultured young lady, young Tabaxi. Is it Miss? Is it Miss of the Moon or just Eclipse?
Just Eclipse.
Okay, then you may call me Sandrine. It's my name, you see.
I know Sandrine.
Oh, what a delightful young person. I shall recommend you. I think you're the most enjoyable little thing. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like your fortune read?
Sure.
Sure. Let me get this. And she pulls out. She goes, runes or cards?
Cards.
Oh, fantastic. That's good. Okay. Right, here we go. We deal them like so, and you cut them. Go ahead.
Okay.
Left hand.
Okay.
That's it. Good. Okay, good. good. And then I put the one on top of the other, like that, you see. And I put them in the middle of the table, like that. Are we going to have to move the mustard? And, and then you just wait for them to deal themselves. Oh, there they go. Okay, right, so let's see.
Death.
You are on a journey, and
yes, like most of X, yes.
really, how fascinating. Okay, and the journey is doomed to failure. Oh, okay, no, hang on, not that. It's doomed to corrupt you. You'll never be the same afterwards. It will. Let's see. It will require a great sacrifice.
Okay.
And let's see. Come on. That one's a slow card. I think I know what it is. Yes, and you'll have great loss, or you will lose something that is a part of you.
Okay.
A part of your life, maybe. Could be maybe a cherished item, or maybe you lose a part of your life that you can't go back to.
Yes, because once you finish the journey, you can't go on that journey again. So yes.
No, because you wouldn't be losing it. You would have fulfilled it. You see, you will lose something else, something that you could carry on, but you will lose it, and you will not be able to do it anymore.
Okay.
I suppose it's not death, not like the horny one. Right.
Farewell.
The horny one.
Farewell, what the hell is this about? We've just left Eclipse on our own. I'm sure it can't get too bad too quickly, but what?
Is there a plant pot or something like equally nearby?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Farrell just walks over to it and just throws up in it. And it's just like hyperventilates. Like you can just see all this. It's still all this smoke is just like billowing out of his neck and out of his right hand, and he's just like, okay.
Okay.
Stop.
What is happening? Wait, I need to hold your hair. It's getting too long.
You left the clips alone with a hag.
A deep gnome and a member of the White Dragon Court.
That's new.
What? Okay.
I don't know. I've never had that happen before.
What happened? Why are you smoking? You're literally smoking right now. Could you just stop
can't-
smoking?
No, I can't make it. Hold on.
And the black smoke starts to recede into his collar and into the cuff of his suit.
There we go.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
And breathe.
Yeah. Whew. Oh.
What? Why did she give you some eyeballs? Did she give you eyeballs? Is that what dropped on the table? Is that what I saw?
She said she had something to give me, and that it was inappropriate to show them at the table, and then and she was saying all this other weird stuff, and like it's Glory's thing, and I was trying not to be rude or disrespectful or cause any trouble, and I thought, well, I just can't go. That's kind of creepy and crazy. Allow me to go get the people that are good with people, and we'll continue this conversation that way. And I thought it was just an object. We've been given things before, and they've been perfectly harmless. I didn't know it was going to be skin and eyeballs and teeth.
You deal with dead people. Why is this such a big deal? She's mentioned your family.
Because they're not things. They're spell components, and that's really different to handle, and that causes all sorts of problems. Because I didn't know what she was doing, and like...
She seems like a nice old lady. I think you upset her. She was like crying.
By this stage, I think the true sight is probably worn off. And it's like, no, she's not. She can change her shape. She's a...
Oh, you still seeing weird shit?
I was. That probably wasn't helpful. I know that
Probably
now.
not. Why? What does the sweet old lady actually look like?
Do you remember those stories that they used to tell you about the witches in the woods that would come and steal you away from your mother and cook you into pies and eat you?
Yes.
Like that.
Okay, yeah, that would freak you out. Yeah, I mean, that would freak everyone out. You probably shouldn't use that sort of thing here, because
no,
I bet there's a lot of that.
Yeah, demons. 2 dragons, by the way, in the room.
2?
Well,
Who
I
else
mean,
is a
we
dragon?
knew one, because there was Freyr, of course, but the red
yeah.
one. There was a red one in there.
There's a red dragon.
Not as big. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no. Scary. That's an actual dragon.
We-
Never seen an actual dragon before.
You saw Freyr before.
Freyr doesn't count. Like,
Frasier doesn't count.
I mean, in the sense
you
of,
mean
like,
because you know them? This is a stranger.
yes and no, but it's kind of like, for example, if like one of the divine got off their seat and then came down to here and just like was like, "Hello, I am the Raven Queen," I could probably handle that a bit normally because, you know, they're just so powerful. I mean, what the fuck could I do? It's all out of my control. Freyr. That one is a little bit more in my sphere of I could have something to say about that.
I could take it.
I can take it. And that is of something of concern because we know that the chromatics like to fight, and there's lots of conversations going around.
Wait.
Several people have said war recently.
What?
Oh yeah, sorry. I've been reading people's lips, and there's all this murmurs about tensions and conflicts between the flights and stuff. And
Was the red dragon not meant to be here then?
I have no idea.
Have they
I don't
gate
understand how that.
crashed?
I have no
I
idea
don't know how
that
it
whole
works.
thing works. No idea whatsoever. But yeah, so I was a little on edge, and then she started talking about how she was going to do things for me that she used to do for her late husband.
I heard that bit.
Yeah,
I heard
but
that
you
bit.
you know how I, you know, people and things and
Panic.
and you know and
What did she actually say about your family, though? Was she threatening you?
no, helping, I think.
Well, maybe you should let her, hack or not.
I have enough that keeps me awake at night without adding to it.
Yeah, but don't you need... You keep having nightmares about your family and we're not dealing with it. If your family... If she can help in some way, even if she's a hack, you should probably get her help.
Yeah, but I'm really bad with people and I don't know what to ask.
Well, maybe don't insult her. It seemed like the eyeballs might have been from her family, so maybe
Oh,
family
that
for
makes
family.
sense, actually.
Mm.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
Look, are you good enough to get? Do you need to swap seats? I'm sitting opposite of. Was the person in front of me a white dragon? Because she's part of the white dragon people apparently. Was she a white dragon?
I didn't look. I'll be honest.
Damn it. Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was
You
kind
would
of
have
distracted.
seen if she was a white dragon, being that she was on the other side of Eclipse, you would have seen it front and center because she would have been in your immediate vision. She was not. In fact, she was exactly as she is seen to be.
Sure.
A quite pretty, if slightly on the thin side, kind of almost malnutritious, malnutrition thin woman, little pasty, hasn't been out in the sun at all, and she was just an Eladrin.
He doesn't have to tell me that though. But
yeah. Why
should
did
go
we
back
agree to
in.
come here again?
I'm not sure we really had a choice, to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the day's nearly done. Just eat your dinner. Don't touch any more eyeballs.
No more.
Or
appetite.
be polite and do if she's gonna help you. Maybe. I mean, maybe she doesn't seem like a nasty old witch who's gonna eat babies. Maybe she's actually really nice and they have a bad reputation. you know.
If I end up dead again, I'm going to rely on this conversation.
To what? To haunt me. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like,
We left
forever.
Eclipse. She's probably in an oubliette already. Let's go. Jesus.
I'm actually
That would be quick
fine.
even by, like, Eclipse's standard. I mean, if anything, she's probably told them all our life stories by
She's
now.
already telling. I really don't think that the thing that we were saying about just talk about the heart of Juridan is a good thing. It's her life mission to do it, and she's telling everybody else exactly where everything is. We're gonna get there, and there's gonna be nothing there because everybody else has like gone there before us because it's
Or
taking us so damn long. So
they all die from the traps, and we just get to waltz in and pick up the gold and the goods at the end because they've done all the hard work for us.
okay, yeah, that might be a smart thing. If that happens,
I
then
mean,
great.
considering the
wrong.
last time we had to do other things, we had to fight an undead squid thing. I mean, and I don't really want to have to do that again.
But isn't the point that other people have tried to do the Heart of Juridan before, but they haven't managed to? Isn't that
Exactly,
the-
which means it's very, very difficult. There's a lot of risk.
I just feel like telling everybody. Anyway, it's not. She's just so honest. Just
I know.
everything
Refreshing,
like
isn't it?
thought out. It's interesting. I just I got used to not doing that,
Yeah.
and she does it.
Yeah, I did write in my book on my to-do list, do an eclipse day. I haven't quite got to it yet.
I have no idea what that means. But you write in that stupid
like-
pen now so that no one can see what you write. So I
That's
just
because
decided
all
that
you
you're
ever
just
do is
writing a
read my-
diary like you know.
That's because you keep reading it. As the
Because now I
story.
can't, and it's not fun anymore.
Exactly.
That's not fun anymore. I'm walking in.
Following behind her.
I'm getting my like horrible fortune read, and Eclipse is like, oh no.
You see, fortune for you eventually she'll be in meat. I don't know whether that means that you're going to be maybe a cook for some sort of wealthy family, maybe a governess, or maybe it could be that you start writing books about cookery, or it could mean that you go and get the meat, or indeed could be a butcher. Although I know no self-respecting lady would ever be a butcher. So yes, there we go. And you can see that out throughout this fortune, you can see that Professor Brandwise has wrinkled his brow quite impressively. The more she's gone on, you have the feeling that it started off as kind of like, well, it's kind of vague. That really isn't it? And as she gets more specific, he's like, the look on his face is, now I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And Eclipse is like, do not trust.
yeah, it started off really kind of exciting because you're on a journey
Yeah.
and it's gonna cost something and all this foreboding and all the rest of it, and you're really excited to start with. And then she started going on about your color and your spirit animal and a bunch of other things. And then after that, apparently you're gonna spend your later years making meat pies or something, and you're just there like, okay, lady.
Yeah.
And you're there thinking, okay, this is the almighty seer that.
Are you sure you saw something about Fenris family?
Oh yes, that's from the gift. You see, it's the gift that I have had since birth. This is just my knowledge of Arcana. You see,
Oh, yeah.
my sisters were better at it than I was.
Oh,
I was
tell
the
me about your sister. I also have two sisters and a brother.
Well, mine have passed on, unfortunately. We were very close. One could say connected. And so there was Drazine, and she was the intelligent one. She was there. She was the one and kind of our leader. And she taught me. Although I
Did
wasn't
you
the
live
best.
with your sisters?
Yes, definitely. We were very close. We only had a little abode, but we made good use of it. We had visitors occasionally. They didn't stay very long. And yes, so Josine was the real talent when it comes to arcanism, and matters arcane at least. And then there was Kramer. And Kramer, she was the pretty one. She and she, as she says, she was the pretty one. She pats the purse in a way that's a little disconcerting. She was the pretty one.
Yes, the pretty one in Sister in my family is Plume of Smoke. She's over there, and I point at like.
Oh, how delightful! The one playing the harp at the moment.
Yes.
Oh, Cooey. Delightful, a family affair. Yes. Is your other sister here?
No. She's out and adventuring. Her name is Beauty of Summer. But she's the oldest one and the smartest, I would say.
Such poetic names. So how lovely. Mr. Bearburns coming back. I guess
I walk
apologize.
over, and before she can say anything, I bow very deeply and I say to her, I've not been feeling myself very well recently, and I've been a little sensitive to certain things. Coming back was not as straightforward as I expected it to be. I would very much welcome your help, maybe in a bit, perhaps in private. It would be
of course
very useful to have someone as powerful and experienced as you help me. And I look at Cora like, is that the right words?
Oh, pish tosh! I'm not powerful. I just receive what I receive, and I try to do a little good with it. Please, I should apologize too. My enthusiasm and my forwardness. I mostly stay in my husband's home, and
tell me about your husband.
He's very lovely. I'll tell you more over the next course, if you may.
Yes.
But I do apologise to Mr. Farewell. I think I was maybe a little excited, a little carried with the moment, and a little forward. I do apologise. At which point you can hear it kind of mumbling into his wine, Professor Brown going, I thought she was perfectly reasonable. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I just sort of...
Man needs to get some backbone. Just carry and his big nose going into the goblet of wine.
I can read your lips, man.
You must be very pleased with yourself.
Yes. Anyway, I'm just look at him again like, I got that.
Just drinking.
Nope, Glory said I'm not allowed to kill at the moment. Not allowed to kill. Right, good.
Finally, Herbert goes to Eclipse and goes, that's what gets you killed.
Yeah. Yes.
Which, if you don't remember anything from the last pod, doesn't make sense. But
Eclipse had the discussion over what can and can't get you killed.
Yes.
What do you say that will get you killed?
Yeah. I go and take my seat, but just don't eat anything. It's all just very politely just pushed forward. Just there's no appetite, and I just sort of sit there, just looking around the room, avoiding the two obvious dragons.
Mr. Bearburns, I feel that you're going to be going into dark places at some point. I have a little something that I will bring with us when we reconvene. So I'd like to
it's dangerous to go alone.
I'd like to make a gift to you, if I may. It belonged to one of my sisters, and I think that you would have use of it. Consider it a well. First of all, I've always been wondering what to give, who to give the damn thing to.
but I believe it would make me feel better that by accepting that, you've accepted my apology. But anyway, let's talk about finer things now. And you, Miss Eclipse, you wanted to hear about my husband. But before you get a chance to, as she turns to Eclipse, Herbert's laughing and going, "That's what gets you killed." Okay, to business. I know that it's somewhat of a formal dinner, and we shouldn't be talking shop. But when are you going to have the chance again? I mean, this is why the glory put you and I across each other, talking cheese, talking cheese.
I reach into my bag of holding that we're carrying, and I pull out the flask with all the spells in it.
Oh shit!
I just sort of I don't get it out fully. I just get out enough of it, Eclipse and Cora can see it, and I just sort of raise my eyebrows at them, and sort of motion to him.
No, and I shake my head. I messaged and said no.
Okay, fine.
2 and 5.
Put
Okay.
Put it back in the bag, and I'm just just sit there. Just
Okay.
Let him carry on waffling.
So, talking cheese.
Talking cheese.
Talking cheese. So, I think that this was destiny. I didn't know the cut of your jib, miss, until I saw you supporting this fine lady here in her upset. And I think that you and I can work together. I think you do. So
okay.
I'm going to do you a deal. I am going to give you a boon. I'm going to give you a boon. Yes. Yes.
What is this boon?
Well, it's part of a deal, you see, and you have to do your part of the deal.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Well, you're going to carry on with these. He looks glaring at Amelia, and then who is currently talking to the person on the other side of her. She kind of looks back when she sees you two talking. He kind of glares and she just looks away again. And he goes, coming close. Yes. So I'll give you a boon if you promise that every time you get one of the jars. Yeah. Every time you get one of the jars, you write me a little note.
Okay.
And you tell me everything. Tell me everything about what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me the adventure. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be joining the adventure by correspondence. Yeah.
You want me to write down everything about what I'm doing? I can do that.
Yeah. Tell me the whole story. Tell me the whole story, and I'll be able to form my theories, and may even be able to get a book out of it. Who knows? If not a paper. And yes, I think that would be fantastic. If you do. And he pulls out a little velvet bag, slips across the table and says, "I will consider that on permanent loan as part of my part of the deal."
What is it? I look at it.
You open it up, and inside is, he says, unlocking his phone.
Is this from Loot Bomb?
Inside is a tiny little figurine, around about that tall, little cameo of a griffin, made out of a shiny.
I know this one.
Not sure if it's gold, bronze, brass, because it's in the bag. Little griffin.
So yes. I'm gonna add it to D&D because I think I know what this is because I've had it in another campaign.
Magical, of course.
Oh,
get you out of a situation. Sometimes you may have to grab one of those jars and get the hell out of there.
So what do I do with it?
Piece of paper inside has the word. Say the word, that animates. Bigger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, like okay, so do not use inside.
No, don't use it inside. You'll end up taking a wall out with the thing. It's a hefty thing. But
Sorry.
Shade.
if you need to get somewhere or get off somewhere or get out of somewhere, it's fast, believe you me. I
Oh.
used it. Right? I went to Lithrasa. Yes, the Drow City.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Got a little snockered. Insulted a priestess. Needed to get out of there fast. Griffin. Yeah?
Oh yes, yes. This can be useful in many occasions.
Yes,
For me.
yes. Definitely. If you're being run by killer, if you're being pursued by killer nuns, that is what you want. Yeah, not specifically. It does more things than killer nuns, but that is
Or
what
like
you want.
vindictive dragons or tieflings or yes. yes very
Well,
good.
I should imagine the dragons can kind of flap after. The nuns didn't have wings, you see. That
No.
would have been considerably more challenging with flying killer nuns. But, and probably would have made a better story.
Nuns.
Because drow.
Would have made a better story, granted. But, as I say, got out of there, skin intact. Very, very good. They were throwing those tentacle things at me. It was terrible.
Oh yes, the tentacle rods. Yes, I read
Yeah,
about those.
I've got one. Problem is,
Ooh, tentacle rod.
yeah, the blighter's too big for me. I think that may have been part of the fracas before I had to go. I think I may have, slapped her on the butt with it or something. I don't know. You see, all I remember is suddenly sobering very, very quickly when I realized my life was in danger. You see?
Oh.
Yes. Worst sabbatical ever. But as I say, bit of a story. So, as I said, if you want, I will give you that. As not a small thing either. Those are rare. Those are rare.
Yes.
You will not find your average enchanter doing that. It takes a lot of rare components to make that.
Yes.
So, if you will accept that boon, and all you have to do is make a pen pal of your dear friend,
Of course. Of course.
Yes, good.
Yes.
Oh, how exciting!
Yes, what's your address?
How exciting! Oh well, I'll give you one of my seals. Hang on. And he looks into a messenger bag, pulls out what is a small mahogany and brass seal. He goes, just seal wax, seal it up with the wax. Press the seal on here, and throw it into a fire. It'll, but then it'll appear. In a location that I'm not going to disclose, because then people will be able to come and read my business and whatnot. And well, what
Okay,
a
that's
man
very
does in
efficient.
his letters
That
is down to
even more
him.
efficient because then I don't need to find a postman. So
A what?
a postman,
A what?
like someone you give your mail to, and then they bring it to like other people.
Oh, you mean like a butler?
No, like someone who brings it over long distances.
A very
So,
tight
like-
butler.
No, a postman. They are employed.
Well, you'd be post by the time he got there. I mean, some of the travel, some of the distance that some of these go for, he'd be dead by the end of it. You'd have to go through the killer nuns and everything to go back to where some of the places I go.
No, it's like
Stop.
it's between cities.
Stop.
No, it's just
Like
between
a
cities.
messenger. It's a messenger. They
messenger,
call it
yeah.
postmen or something in Naru.
Yeah, it's a messenger, like someone who had like your children with a horse.
That's
They go
considered
between-
gainful employment somewhere, is it?
Yes,
It's just walking with a piece of paper in your hand. Why would you do that?
because you bring
Because
people
you've
joy by
been
bringing
employed
people-
to do it. I literally did that as a kid. Like, you'd take messages from one place to
Oh, no, I
another.
thoroughly approve of that. Kids should be given something useful to do rather than just sitting around and playing with it, whatever they play with. Yes, utilizing
I don't think you
children
had a
as
good
a
childhood, did you?
I had a
Maybe
fantastic
maybe not
childhood,
have
thank you very much.
labor.
I was
It was very short.
all the books that I could have. But yes, certainly finding basic functions for the young, I think, is rather efficient. But
I
the
mean, school is great for children to learn.
yes, school is fantastic, isn't it? I miss school. I do miss school. but they're the other children, the ones that don't want to go to school. So what you do is you strap a letter to them and tell them to run as fast as they can or something.
No, like normally
Some sort of
it's
flying
adults.
beast would be better, I think.
No, so normally it's adults. Normally they have something. Normally either a horse or they will have some other type of mount that they can fly on.
So
The
you
really
want a
quick
person
one-
and a horse just to move a piece of paper.
Many pieces of paper. It's many
pieces
messages.
of paper. Okay, so not as inefficient as I thought, but still not as
we end
efficient
up
as
here?
magic. Who are these people? Have they never heard of magic?
There's a lot of people who can't do magic.
Yeah,
You
not
know?
everybody can do magic. Yeah.
Well, they should jolly well pull their finger out and learn then.
I mean, some people are more like interested in the sword, like the dear lady, the dear head of the house over there.
Oh no,
I
she could decapitate you with spells just as well as she can.
Oh
with
yes,
that
a
sword.
fine warrior, fine warrior.
Or
I
is
cannot-
it Revenant who is more stabby? I don't know who's the stabbiest. It's certainly not bloody. But there's a bunch of stabby people. I have a little bit of magic, but mostly I'm the stabbing
Yes,
person.
I could tell there was a certain amount of a little bit of base intelligence about you. I knew there was a spark of something that I would relate to. And
Cora
really,
has.
you're more of an intrepid type. I mean, you're going out adventuring and unraveling mysteries. We need people like you in the field. You have a fine career, miss. You don't just move paper around or anything.
No, normally it's like rocks rather than paper.
Cora has totally at this
You deliver rocks
point.
to people.
No,
Yes.
no, move rocks from like getting into tombs and stuff. That's what I meant.
Oh, no, see, magic can be used for that as well. The catapult spell. I've got a scroll of it here somewhere. Here we go. Have a catapult scroll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have a single
First level
use first level catapult spell. I'm not even going to note that on the inventory because that it doesn't do much at this level. There you go. See, you just target the biggest rock with that and you throw it.
Cora has totally, while this conversation went on, made a little tiny party hat that's like on his head right now is minor illusion.
He has no idea. This guy is so full of himself. He has no idea.
That's fine because it wasn't intentional that he was going to see it. It was going to be a kick me sign on the back, but then she wouldn't feel the joy of seeing it. So
Yeah.
Farrell can't stop staring at it.
Oh.
He's just has switched off his brain because he has
He
no
keeps
idea
sees
how
it.
we've got to this point.
Is about to mention it and then thinks, no, Cora and Farrell are gonna they're gonna shout at me if I do that. So she just ignores it.
Yeah, I give her the side
Sandrine
eye.
does turn around and go, oh, should we all have one?
No, it's a special thing just for him.
Oh, I see. Well, he is rather a card, isn't he? Okay. It does look rather fashion in it, doesn't it? And she starts kind of
Dada.
noisily slurping her soup in a way that's kind of grating. The lips are going a bit too much when she's doing the soup.
Don't upset the critic. Don't upset the seer. Don't
So
upset the
there-
seer.
I kind of who oh wait, the annoying guy is literally right next to me, isn't he?
He's literally right
He's
next to you. He's
literally
between you
right
and
there,
Farewell.
Yeah. Oh, so I could have kicked me. I would have seen it. We could have leant back and like enjoyed it. Damn it! I was thinking it was opposite for some reason.
Well, either way.
I glance over towards the top table.
Yeah,
kind of- because for once, Cora is like wanting a meal to be over, which is very unusual for her.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but-
you're on like course 6 at the moment, which means that, you're a good 2/3 of the way through the meal.
But also, like, the food comes really slowly, and and there's too much time for talking, so she's very much just wondering how long before this is all just wrapped up, and they can be like, oh, he was named now.
Well,
so
then we
let's
have a formal dance after
Glee.
this.
Oh God, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's 2 other stages after this.
Yeah,
but yes, you can see that the courses are coming in thick and fast. Amelia finishes talking to the person to her left, and you can see that she looks a little fatigued by it. You have a feeling that she made small talk that she wasn't at all interested in. And when she kind of sits back around knowing that it's finished, she gives a bit of a sigh of relief, and she sees that that you see her sighing. She looks at you, raises her eyebrows as if to say, what am I supposed to do? And then suddenly focuses on her food a bit and seems to be a little moody, but you can see that, well, we'll roll that after the break.
Who is she talking to? Who's sitting to her? Who's sitting diagonal from me?
Just a tiefling.
A tiefling person that they were just having a chat while we had
skin,
that.
Yeah, a tiefling, plum skin, dark red horns.
Maybe the person's gonna die tonight. Who knows?
From what you can tell, he's got like a tail with a few kind of quills in it. It's kind of popped up every now and again as he's kind of rearranged himself. You have a feeling the chair's probably not that tail friendly, which is strange because Tezcatlipoca family. And
yeah, I was gonna say that sounded very strange considering where they are.
One of the servants put down the wrong chair, so yeah, you know, she spoke to him for a while, but she seems a little fatigued after speaking to him. He's now talking animatedly to somebody else, and they're talking about trade laws and the economy and all the rest of it. It's very dry, very, very dry. You have a feeling that she wasn't interested in it at all. Anyway, we're going to take a 10-minute break because it's 9:30, and we will come back for what other revelations may occur during the meal. We've already kind of started
at a red dragon. Sorry.
Yeah, just right here, right now. Fuck it.
We don't know there's a problem.
I think
they're
waylay
friends.
the law if somebody outside of the nation assassinated him, but then I guess it would be down to Frania to hunt you down because you assassinated them under his roof.
We'd be basically Archduke Franz Ferdinanding this whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We'd be pretty much just assassinating some bloke in Sarajevo, causing the rest of the known world to go into a massive fight.
I mean, I'm not opposed to Scalra having a war with itself.
I don't think Cora has any real notion of how dragons work apart from like the general thing of dragons are bad news. Like she and that, you know, some are meant to be better than others, but like she probably just thinks they were invited to the party. She has no clue that they might have any sort of like issues.
I have a feeling that Glory needs to do a lecture of dragons are bad is an overgeneralization attempted by Glory Tezcatlipoca. Yeah, so
yes, chromatic dragons
I don't
inherently think evil. Yes.
I don't know if Cora thinks of them as bad as an evil. It's more just like they are big and powerful creatures and therefore scary and therefore don't get into leave them to their thing, just like you would with a freaking big tiger or something.
Know that chromatics are evil, but the characters don't know that chromatics are evil.
I don't think.
I mean, that would be like a general like history knowledge of knowing that most like dragon problems have been with chromatic dragons because they are the ones.
Have they been in this world though? Like that's a D&D thing, but I don't know about this world. And having schooled maybe, but
maybe. But the whole point is that for example, the orcs, half orcs and orcs are in polite society now, and they were created by Grumsh, a very evil god of destruction. In fact, he created the orcs so that they could be the instrument of his destruction on the prime material plane. So, judging the book by its cover, something that shouldn't be done as much tieflings after all the demons. But anyway, enough of that. We're going to go take a 10-minute break, and we will continue this when we come back.
Bye.
And welcome back, everybody. When we left off, we had Farewell being traumatized with a hag, somewhat a reformed hag, who was trying to help him out with a few things. And Cora was mostly being ignored by the woman across from her, but she was making sure that Farewell didn't go postal on everybody. Eclipse got given an offer.
Oh, I can hear something from
I can
you,
hear something, yeah.
Nick, yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
So yeah, the Eclipse had been given an offer by Professor Brandwise, saying that if she tells him everything, if she writes to him after she goes on each of her stages of her Jorodan journey, he will indefinitely loan her a statue that's got him out of trouble. First part of the loot bomb being given out. We haven't heard much from Glory, but we will get back to her in just a second. As the meal goes on and the courses get ticked off the list, the conversation on some tables starts to become more raucous. The wine is flowing. There's great guffaws of laughter. There's other people who are being loud and kind of thumping the table to punctuate their point. People's worst natures are starting to show. You can see that there are people openly arguing across the table. You can see that in other cases, some people are quite clearly flirting or carousing. And there are other people making wager already. Some people are looking at them with some form of disdain for maybe wanting to start the less civil festivities early and unable to stay civil throughout the meal. The meal is long, and there's every now and again there's a particular piece of music that comes on where everybody applauds. Why, you don't know. Glory might know. Well, Glory would know, actually. In other cases, there are speeches. At one point, there's a in the middle of Sandrine saying, "So yes, that's it really," and she finishes a tale of the fact that she was
National anthem,
she was a servant under a greater hag.
Oh, she actually tells us she was a hag.
No, she says that she was a servant under, and she names a greater hag. She doesn't kind of outwardly say that she is one. You might kind of get from the story that she doesn't really identify as a hag anymore. She says that the greater hag that she was serving under, like a hag queen that she was serving under, was in a near generational battle with a nearby fiefdom, and a emissary came into the swamplands, into the it's kind of like a bayou, I guess, and made a proposal that that the hag queen would send forward one of her daughters, one of her representatives, to wed one of the lesser sons of the current baron, and as a result, they would be family and they would be tied together by blood. The hag queen thought that it was a huge insult that a lesser son would be mentioned, and through a number of threats and negotiations, and in the end, the baron, just knowing that it would ruin him, he ended up marrying off the heir to his estate to one of the hags, and it was Sandrine. Sandrine had recently lost her sisters due to something that was her older sister's plan, her machination, and she nearly died to it as well. She mostly just went along with them. So she was sent, and as a result, there was a binding contract there. And for as long as she and her husband, who's in his 80s now, has been alive, there's been peace in that kingdom.
Was the husband still alive? I thought he was.
No, she said he's away on business.
Oh, okay.
He's mid-80s. What business he can do is mid-80s, you don't quite manage to divine from what she said. But she describes a very long moment of adjustment, process of adjustment, for her adjusting to human society and fitting in, him kind of trying to help her adjust and all the rest of it, and eventually them finding a form of love and respect for each other. And she is still, to this day, absolutely besotted with the Baron de Lannoy. It's a little wretched, her story, but it's a good romance. It's a weird one, but it's a good romance. Seems very genuine, and she seems to very much enjoy relaying it to you. She's just getting to the conclusion and then goes, and really, that's what it is, really. I guess I am just a girl caught between the worlds. But I do what I can, and I find places like this they don't really judge as much. I scared Mr. Barebones, of course, but normally people just kind of accept me for who I am, especially here where there's some of the more, and she gestures towards Freynia, some of the more extreme personalities about. I find myself oddly safe here. And there's a ding, 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 ding. Freynia stands.
Oh, shit.
Thank you, each and one of you, for coming here and celebrating what is another step of this wonderful family that I have adopted as my own as they pass through time, going from strength to strength.
He is progenitor, isn't he? Like, rather than
This is very important to me, that we have amongst us people that we can trust, at least those that we can trust to be themselves, and to form a certain level of decorum amongst us. If we lose decorum, we become savages. And at that point, you can see that the mage with the kind of red scaled cloth peels back his lips, kind of smiles, but in a very aggressive, toothy way in Freynia's direction. And savagery can come to all of us so very quickly, and also with great and devastating effect. I look to my upcoming generation, and he gestures towards glory, hope, and excellence, as they step out into the world and make a difference, and in doing so show why we are who we are, with the power, the excellence that we have, that we're able to deploy. We can keep this world sewn together, lest it be shattered asunder by forces ancient and unknown. And he looks directly at Glory. We must ensure that our efforts go to that which is worthy of us and worthy of attention. We can be distracted by petty squabbles, or we can go for the jugular, and at that point he points at the mage. As the hand comes down, he puts it right at the mage. Or we can go straight for the jugular. Eliminate frippery that could waste our time and get to the point in hand. That which is most quintessential to us all. Skara, for a long time, has been a nation isolated. A nation that has needed to regulate itself from within. I believe that Skara should be more of a force within the whole of Valeria. We should be known and influential contributors right across Valeria. We should be in the courts of the Meridian Kings. We should be in the lairds' halls of the Keltermans. We should be in regular conversation with Empress Selene herself, so that we can enjoy Illyria forever. That's what we're talking about here. Not any one life, not any one story, but Illyria forever. We in Skara have not been shackled by niceties. We do what is necessary, and we do not blink. So, to you all, I salute you for being part of this, the next step of history. He raises a glass, and a lot of people echo the words. The next step of history. Yeah, quite right, here. And there's a huge echo of recognition across the hall. Frania sits down, glances in your direction, Glory, and then you can see, because he kind of darts to your left, that he has done the same to Eclipse. And then he looks pointedly at the mage.
Eclipse?
Not Eclipse, sorry. He looks at Excellence. Sorry. Looks at Glory, then Excellence, and then pointedly at the mage. And you see the side of his mouth curl up in a very corner smile. But as he does so, there's a little flash of teeth, and you have a feeling they've lengthened slightly. The room goes back into a hubbub. And Excellence goes, oh God, he's almost telling us directly.
Well, what did you expect?
Well, I almost wanted him to dress it up so that we'd almost get a bit of a telling off or something, you know. Taking matters into our own hands. He's almost baiting us. What do you think? Does he want you to kind of show up Mother or something? Or... And when he says Mother, he refers to your mother, not his own.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's almost with a capital M.
Mother.
What is that? I'm not sure.
I think he wants us to prove ourselves a little bit.
But is it prove ourselves that we can defeat a bloody dragon, or is it prove ourselves that we do the right thing? I can't tell his damned mood. Is he being playful? Is he being vicious? Is he being wise? What is it?
What can Farrell see with his cleric passive insight eyes? Can you read the dragon?
Come on, Glory, you're supposed to be the socialite.
I think he wants us to show everyone that it's the next generation now. It's not Mother, it's not Revenant, it's us now. We're the pieces on the table.
Well, it's not that we're not ready. Maybe he's just trying to rattle his saber and wear the bit at the end. Okay. How are we going to do this? I mean, it's almost... Does he want us to make it impressive? All of my impressive things will kill the fucker.
Yeah. Maybe we get what we want and then we show off.
Okay. So kidnap him first, and then maybe.
Display him. Remember what Mother did with the assassins from the Red Dragon flight 15 years ago.
I don't think we've got that much
from
paint.
the fountain.
Yeah.
Could do something similar. I think you have something for that, don't you?
Well, I've got something. Not to tip my hand against you, but it's. Yeah, I could do something. God's damn it! Set me any individual task and it's not a problem, but when I don't even know what the question is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is what we were made for.
Hope turns around and says, "You know, I'll support whatever you need." But he was looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
I know he expects me to guide. That's what Ideal always did. Ideal never did any of the heavy lifting. She just steered. Once you picked a direction, she kind of just did the fine adjustments.
We can do this.
Okay.
We have to.
Okay.
And
well,
then you go through the tunnel, and then there was where we found the aboleth.
Perfect transition, Corinne. I don't know if Simon wanted us to be done with that scene there, but
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know. Keep going.
we can chop.
We
and,
can
we can
jump
chop and
back.
change. We can chop and change organically. That's what I love about it. An aboleth, oh, how wonderful! Yes, I would love to have seen that. It was lovely.
It's
those
somewhere
creatures.
here, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did you bring it with you? It
Oh,
must be very
no,
Glory
small.
sent it
Glory-
to her mom?
No, not her mom. It was her aunt.
Oh,
Inside, the one with that one over
Inside.
there.
I
don't
work-
point
inside.
point so much.
I work with Insight, you see.
It's probably on display
can do
somewhere.
that. If it's in display, I know where to find it. Then there's only one place that Insight would put anything, and that's in that fine university of hers. Yes. I'll find out from her. Oh no, probably best not to message her here. It's probably very rude. I don't want to be killed
She
after
kind of
all.
looks a little pissed off, and I'm glancing over. I mean, she has that kind of face most of the time. Whenever I've kind of met her, she's got that kind of.
Oh no,
pissed
no,
off
no,
kind of
it's
face.
Scrutinizing. She was.
Sorry, scrutinizing face. She's intense.
Yeah, intense.
She is very
definitely.
intense, yes.
Definitely an intense woman inside. Lovely cut of a girl, I know, but she's she is very focused, and yes, I'll find out from her. Love to see it. Oh, so an aboleth, you say?
Yes, yeah, but like
and-
white. It was like an undead aboleth.
Oh, necrotica. Oh, really? And so they and the soul of this gentleman was bound inside the
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
how wonderful! How wonderful!
Yeah, and me and Farrell, and we had like this coordinated attack where we took out like most of its life energy in like one hit. It was amazing.
That sounds incredible. Well,
She's
clearly
very
you're
good with
operatives of
blades.
some skill.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what I'm getting so far, you've only got 2. Now, 2 points do not make a trend. You need a third.
Yes.
And for it to be statistically significant, you need 35 points. But we'll get to that in a minute. And there's only 7. So, but
Yes.
it's what you've got at the moment is 2 of them seem to have the same thing with it. They seem to be somewhat penitent.
Yes.
One of them seemed to be penitent before the event. The other one after the event, and they both seem to be very, very different in how their penance seem to be. I think you're going to find there's going to be a different story for each of them, at least as far as statistics allows. So yes, I think so. Yes.
Ooh,
Adventurers.
we have a raid from
and
Sean.
Helisikian.
Yay.
Yes, I think that each of your stages are probably going to be
significant in some way by the fact that they each are going to be isolated as part of the Jordan history. In which case, it very much is going to be that the journey is the thing that's going to be important. You're going to learn what happened each step of the way.
Yes, that is my goal. I want to learn all about it, and I want to learn what happened. That is the.
I had you wrong, madam. I had you wrong. You are no hobbyist. You're a field researcher. That's what you are. You're a field researcher.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely. And are you associated with a university at the moment, or do you just consider the Grand Temple to be your association?
Yes, not just the Grand Temple.
Just the Grand Temple itself.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fine institute. I disagree with them on certain policies, but they're a fine institution. No, fantastic. And I shall be sure, if you do not do so yourself, to send copies of your letters to the temple, that they can put them alongside the jars one day, and who knows, the heart itself.
Oh yes. I shall. I'm already journaling down all about it, and I could send some copies of that. Oh, I could actually show you some of the things I already written down about.
Cora, give me an insight check or a perception check, your choice.
Not me.
Am I aware of this? Because if I am, I will guide her.
This woman's on the other side of the table, but I will allow it. I think at this point it's become such a cooking pot, a pressure pot.
Use D&D and Beyond to roll. I'm not sure I like their roll. It was a 1 for a moment. Do I roll an extra D4 then?
And you get a D4.
D4, yeah.
Let's see what D&D Beyond gives me.
Okay.
I rolled the grand total of
info
8.
dumper like most.
Did you say perception or?
I'm info dumping about my special interest.
Perception or insight?
Or insight. They're both a +3. So 8, 9, 10, 11. That's it.
Including your D4?
I got a 1 on the D4 and I got a 7 on the D20. It was rubbish. Always use real dice.
Okay. So what was the total?
It's 8, 9, 10, 11.
11.
Rubbish.
She seems to be sullen, looking down at her food. She's tapping her finger.
Who's
tapping
this?
her lip.
No, this is not this conversation.
This is Amelia.
Amelia in front of me.
Yeah. Amelia is sullen, looking into her food. She seems to be tapping her fingers on the table.
I was planning when she before the conversation to when I see this, unless it's you might be about to tell me something. I start to rummage around in my pockets for a scrap of paper, which I probably have bits and pieces for
Sure.
silly.
Yeah.
In fact,
like
I think
that,
we
you
were
can just pull out
passing
your
silly
pocket.
notes during breakfast, so I've probably got one of those.
Yeah, minor things like that. If you say they're in your pocket, they're in your pocket.
Yeah. And so I want to scribble "you okay?" ? and scoot it across the table to like we're at school. Yeah. Happy to do a sleight of hand.
The piece of paper startles her momentarily, and there's a tiny little flash from her fingers. And she, I'm sorry. She looks down.
Yeah, I
flicks it into her hand, looks at it, and goes, "No, I'm quite all right, thank you. Stimulating conversation around here." You can tell that the conversations that are probably within her earshot are economics to the left and Heart of Duradan to the right.
Unless she's really into her economics.
I cast Minor Illusion because I'm using it all the time because it's the only thing I really got that I can do that isn't Eldritch Blast.
I cast Eldritch Blast and it's fine.
I make a napkin in front of her, I kind of origami a napkin in front of her to turn into a little swan thing.
Aw.
And I just watch her.
She flickers her fingers on the table where she was kind of tapping on the table because she was kind of tapping like this on the table. She kind of gives a flourish and then gestures, and a origami bear appears next to it.
Swan attacks the bear.
Sure.
Swan attack.
There's a little bit of a look, and Amelia looks at you almost with a flirtatious look, and starts to animate her bear.
I kind of gesture with my eyes to all the sort of like conversations that are happening, and I'm just like.
There's a toothy grin as she gets into this little game that you've suddenly devised, and there might be people who suddenly go, "Oh, what are they doing?" and then kind of think it looks private and stuff. Amelia, suddenly looking very light-hearted. She seemed to be a little stimulated before, but now she's very light-hearted, and she's just playing along. After a while, she gets bored of the bear and kind of turns her fingers, and it turns into a long-eared hare, which I'm pretty sure is impossible in origami. The one that she made anyway, and she's just making the hare run around away from the swan.
Yeah, just playing because completely do not want to start a conversation with this boring twat here or whoever's sitting next to me here.
Those seem to be like a bunch of bankers or something. They're all talking.
Just something so beyond.
Yeah. They're turning around saying, "No, not pork, not pork. You don't want to. You don't want to waste your money with that. It flooded the market. It has. It's going to crash." And yeah, they've been talking about that for pretty much the entire meal.
Yeah, she's just passing the time now, really, and like she thinks she might. It's like it's the thing of like maybe this person's as bored as me. Like all I really know about her is she's sort of shield maid. She's. Like there's a sense that Cora's got, and it might be completely wrong, but Cora's got the sense that this person is sort of a bit like her. She's like Cora's some sir to the bodyguard in a way to a princess, and this lady is a shield maiden to some white dragon, and it's like. Yeah, she's having to sit through this formal dinner too, and she probably would rather be out fighting or doing something cool. So, she's not really necessarily flirting because she's got an Ola, but it's more like
you're not
okay.
getting like kind of seduction flirting from me.
Yeah.
It's more kind of
it's more
courtier
friendly,
flirting.
Yeah, it's like it's cool. This is boring, but we can make this interesting. We'll get through it, sort of thing.
It's kind of a little bit of excitement for excitement's sake, and you certainly get that Amelia's not trying to seduce you in any way. When I say she's being flirtatious, she's suddenly got an energy to her. She's making eye contact. She's suddenly engaging.
She's less bored than she was. And all
she's less bored, and she's kind of on your wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's that. There may be more, but it kind of needs to trigger off something else. So, so Farewell's got a date with a hag later.
Yeah. Well done.
Man, we've been trying to get him a date for ages. Woohoo! We did
now
it, guys.
he chooses like a 100-year-old hag who has a husband. How do you dare you, Farewell? Why do you go after all these married women?
Eclipse.
Nick's so distracted by something for a second, and then wait, what's this?
No, I was listening. It's like Farewell's just like
he's just woken up to it. Yeah, Farewell.
It's just like there's this phase of just like there's so many conversations going on, none of which like interest him, and so he's sort of like vogued out, and then suddenly he just hears, "Why are you always going for married women?" And he's like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
Well, that was not a character, but yes.
Well, you say that, but Eclipse would almost do that and be like, look at these two, like, they're suddenly two so happy.
Yeah.
She would totally say something like that. Look, wait a minute.
Anyway, she will continue talking about, well, mostly about what they've done before. She's also gonna mention that she thinks there's a pattern when it comes to the canopic jaws and like what they are called and stuff, but she won't go into too deep of theory. She'll just mention that she thinks there's something going on with that.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Roll that d20.
D20.
Kate.
Go on, Kate. Roll a d20.
Oh, I thought you were talking about two Eclipse. I'm so sorry. Roll a
Kate,
d20.
roll me a d20.
Okay, do I use D&D Beyond again? Let's do it. For God's sake. 6.
God's sake.
We might be
It
ultra
bounced
even.
off the 18. I don't know what I'm rolling for, so it's
We
fine.
might be ultra even, so it might be an even thing.
As you're playing, Kate, the long-eared hair, long-eared hair, not long-haired hair, long-eared hair has since been changed into a little origami tiger. When Eclipse suggests that there may be a pattern to the canopic jars, the tiger falls over and loses its shape momentarily.
Ooh. And they have like, yeah, they seem to be some sort of theme going on with them. Like they are all of some that there is this. If I can read some more books about the history of things and.
Well, of course, even a field researcher needs to make sure that they're read upon the materials. It's quintessential. You must get it. Now, there's a short list of about 20 volumes that I think are required reading for you. I'll supply you with the list.
Of course, yes, that would be very helpful.
I'm sure that your patrons will be able to extend you the proper materials. And yes, here we go.
And he starts getting out scraps of paper and things like that, starts noting it down.
Eclipse is completely seriously like noting this down for like reading.
Yeah. He seems to have a bunch of research and stuff like that. And he says,
in the meantime, any other artifacts, particular artifacts of renown that you find, send it in my direction. I'll be very happy to do the analysis for you. After all, I'll be able to add it to whatever that I'm writing on the subject.
Yeah, as long as it's not like obviously a thing that like the skeleton of the what was her name? Remind me. I think I wrote
Silk Whisper.
Silk Whisper. Sid Whisper, who was the temple guardian. Who was
no. She's not an artifact. She was an unfortunate poor thing.
I mean, she kind of is now because she's in the museum.
Yeah, well, but she's buried now where she belongs.
Good.
Oh, she's not on display. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
I don't know if they might display her for a bit.
No, she's not on display. She was put in the Guardian resting place with all the others. You were taken down like a kind of secret passageway and stuff.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah.
And he goes, that wily Glory. She really did know how this matchup would work, doesn't she? Well, to you, Chalk. And clinks his glass. Starts. But yeah, Cora, the tiger unraveled for a very short period of time.
Is she? If I look up at Amelia, does she look like she's listening in? I mean, it's kind of impossible to sort of really tell that, but is her eye like? Is she getting distracted? Is she glancing over, like even not obviously to Eclipse necessarily, who's right next to her, but like at the conversation? Is she distracted?
She's glancing at the origami, but maybe she's cocking her head very slightly.
Sorry, Eclipse won't shut up about her mission. It's
sorry, yes, she distracted me momentarily. You
ever heard of the Heart of Juradan?
Oh, very much so. As I said before, the heart was a powerful artifact, and the status gain that you would get from owning such a thing would be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it allowed a Juradan to course through half an empire the old empire as we know it wouldn't have its seat in history had Jordan succeeded. In fact, the entire what is now South Vardencourt since the Civil War would be a Tabaxi kingdom.
Yes, but that's very true. Do I hear that?
Yeah, you would hear it. It would be a Tabaxi empire.
Yes.
So someone getting hold of the heart is good if they're they want to be some leader or a god, or not a god, but like a.
Oh, that's why it should go to the temple so no one can misuse it.
Yes, Eclipse. Yeah, but you spread it around a bit and other people get interested, and I kind of look at Amelia at that, trying to give her a bit of a.
That's not what she meant, but interesting.
It's yes, because it's a thing I'm very interested about, and I want to talk and chat it.
A fine subject it is too. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
I've never heard of this heart. I'm afraid I have very little to add to this. Well, you see, the heart is such a seat of power, and you're quite right. I guess, Eclipse, that if it was in the temple, it would be in neutral territory, and therefore the status quo would be kept. But for those of ambition, those who wish to impress patrons, they would certainly wish to put their hands on this.
I wonder if it's a literal heart.
No, it's probably not a literal heart. It's probably some sort of... The heart of Jordan, I think, more refers to the final resting place of Jordan rather than like...
That'd be really disappointing. I mean, there is something to be said about like the old way of doing things, where it very literal stuff,
I mean, it might just be his literal heart with...
Yeah, I mean, you think about his literal heart, crystallized, full of all of his power, and that's why it does what it is. That's something that,
Well,
a lot of the thing
if people... Kids.
Yeah, it's got to be a thing if it's got some sort of power in it, right? It's got to...
Well, it's debated if Jordan had any, like, big external power at all, or if it was just him being really clever and really on it and choosing his advisors.
Maybe. He had no heart because he had to give it up in order to get the power to get his empire, and it's kind of like a play on words, and so like the actual physical empire itself became his heart. He gave it up into the land and a great city rose. I'd read that. That'd be a really good story. I'd read that.
Yes. There are many scholars that debate these things.
I think that I would say that the heart of Jordan is probably some sort of gem. For example, if you read up on the heart of Sycorax, the heart of Carlos, both of those were gems. Typically, the word heart is not used unless it's like heart seeker, heart render, that kind of thing.
Ooh, heart-shaped jewel.
For weapons. Well, not even
anatomically
necessarily
correct, of course.
Not necessarily even that. I mean, maybe a slight asymmetrical rhomboid would somehow represent a heart, especially if it was the right color. Maybe it's an uncut gem, but typically you'll find that arcane artifacts.
I bring out the gem that I was given.
Oh no.
Oh, that's very lovely. Yeah, see, that's something a little like that, maybe. That would be the heart. Very typically, you will find that it is a gem or a cameo, maybe an amulet or something.
Yeah, if I don't get any reaction from anyone, I'll just put it back.
I'm watching
there's
Amelia.
a few people who look at it and go, ooh, but that's about it. Yeah, pretty. And he goes, no. Although I do like your penchant for the dramatic, Mr. Barebones. It's really quite refreshing.
Yeah, I've been told I do drama very well.
Yes, you're a bit of a drama queen.
So I've been told. I think
not just drama, but the queen of drama. What an accolade!
A dramatic.
No one
bitch, I
can
think I
really
got
beat
called
Glory
once.
at it, but you're a close second.
Yes, you have to say that, otherwise,
No, this one is actually true, but yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, that's weird. Fair enough.
Well, Glory would be very upset if we didn't say that she was the best drama.
No, sorry, that wasn't the weird thing. It was the whole. I mean, it's Glory. She wouldn't.
No,
Well,
she
right
wouldn't.
To you, I mean.
No.
But the rest of us would be fine.
I'm still playing that game with the word that'll kill you. I don't know what it is.
I mean, any word. I think if you say
any word. There could be any word. Okay. It's like a guessing game. It's rather fun.
He's taking
but yes,
literally rather than figuratively.
Right. So, yes.
I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
enchanting a piece of flesh, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So I doubt it's an actual heart. Hearts tend to
not necessarily, because of course with the right.
I mean, we got
material.
these enchanted canopic jars that are fleshy.
The right material, tattooing, time, and determination. Actually, I would argue that you could probably enchant flesh pretty effectively. I mean, it would hurt whoever was having it done, like beyond like any imagining, because we're not talking like hours of pain. We're probably talking weeks to months of
I would completely agree.
agony.
Yes. I'd completely agree.
So they'd probably be pretty insane by the time you finished.
Yes,
but if you survived, I mean, you
tattoo
literally
with
have
residuum.
Yeah, exactly. And that you could quite literally have a walking spellbook.
Oh, that you, sir, give me chills. You're an outside of the box thinker. You are. Yes. My word.
I mean, you could probably even grow. I mean, clones exist. You could probably, if you're.
Oh yeah,
good
didn't
enough...
you get cloned? Was that the thing that
Well, no,
happened?
technically, the body that I'm in is a clone. It's not my clone. Well, it kind of is now, but not properly. I guess if you could grow it and infuse the residuum into the clone and have it manifest as like birthmarks manifest.
You can see Furious scribbling, by the way. Professor Brandwise is there going, yes, fascinating. It's so good. It would be something like the convocation of these runes, and he starts he rips up the paper into lots of different runes and starts almost kind of figuring it out like a puzzle with you and say it would have to have this form of convocation together, otherwise you would end up getting too much of a buildup of energy, you see, and the clone would just explode, meet all over.
And I just sort of reach over and move like the top and the right one around and be like, we kind of need his heart to work.
Of course, yeah. The flesh must be functional, of course. Yes, indeed. Wow, you're a rather inspiring young man. Yes, and he's furiously scribbling down, and
he's
he
a father
contributes
of the
to
Raven Queen.
That too, a man of many talents, I'm sure. And Herbert.
To be fair, it's kind of all Glory's fault. She found a load of stuff on making her own golem, and I happened to read it afterwards, and now I just can't get it out of my head. It's actually really easy to do. Expensive, but like really easy to do.
Oh, that's the thing. It's getting the grant is the problem. You know, the rest is just good old-fashioned hard work. Yes.
Well, and necromancy, and that's.
Yes, a rather tiresome subject, and if I don't mind, necromancy is such a lazy subject, really, isn't it? I mean, it's cheating by using the flesh that was
problem, though. I mean, if it's just an undead walking thing, you could probably enchant that with what you need, and then just have that do the work.
You could put a high-level spell into a zombie and make it a walking bomb. Heavens.
Just walk it into the middle of a pack and just watch it go.
Poof.
Wow. Fascinating.
I'm spending way too much time here.
Simon, you have a question?
Uh-huh.
In the lobby, before we walked into this dining room, when we met Excellence for the first time, you said that it felt to me like that I could almost slip my hand through and into the Feywilds. That it was that it felt like the veil or whatever was thin. Is it still feel thin in here?
Yeah, you feel like it's thin around you.
Oh. Okay.
Oopsie.
I want to try under the table to like reach through and like pick a flower or something and see if I have something in my hand. I'm curious.
You reach down under the table. You focus on a flower, and golden mumbles are the flowers that you're thinking of, because they were at one of the first picnics that you had with Enola in the Feywild, and suddenly fibers brush your fingers, and there's something in your hand.
Loot bomb.
I kind of like try and almost just put my hand back through the curtain and drop it, because dropping it probably on the floor is not a good idea. People are like, where the hell does this come from? But
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna scrunch it and kind of put it in my pocket. To be honest, actually, I think about dropping it, but I'm like, I kind of.
Yeah, you just slip it into your
This
pocket.
is not the time to. I'm not,
Either no
I
one
don't wanna
notices
start-
or no one cares.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing it like right here, and hopefully people are distracted enough. But it was just, yeah, okay.
Well then.
Yeah, do you want to go to Glory? Because you haven't done much. Or you have, I suppose.
It's fine for me if you guys want to continue.
She had a bit of a chunk lost session, so
Okay.
I
Oh
don't-
yeah, I
make-
had such a chunk lesson. I'm just having a great time listening to you guys.
Okay,
And in
as
a
long
way-
as it's fine.
And in a way, Felicia gets the joy of watching you play in what is essentially her chapter, because she kind of wrote this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did give him a lot.
Or is very intrigued by Amelia and wants to ask her everything about the White Dragon Kingdom, but she doesn't know what's appropriate or not. So she's
Yeah.
sort of
Phil
just
is
staring
now
at her
got
at
his-
the moment and twiddling thumbs.
Well, she did tell you a bit, so
Yeah, I just can't remember. Kate's got to remember what
well-
was told.
well, no, no, we haven't told you. I kind of crossed in, and I was talking about the Alabaster River and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of
It's basically what she's interested in. So what she would ask is, how does the society work there? Is it like here? Do they have a
Yeah.
similar sort of thing? Is it about the glory of the nation and all this sort of stuff? Like, that is kind of what she's intrigued about, because she's very, I don't know if I can roll an insight check, because she's just getting the impression that actually, like, if it is like here, and she's hearing about this powerful thing, then she either wants to get it to for her queen or whatever, and glorify herself, or she wants to get it, or she wants to be able to inform her queen of this powerful thing so that her queen can be powerful. So she's sort of worried that she was making friends with this person, and this person is actually doing a glory essentially, and is
Boy!
Okay.
like, not necessarily a glory, but like is like that, in that sort of like she's out for glorifying something else. Like, no offense to Glory, but
I know
but
what
the-
you think
the-
of me now.
Ooh.
No, it's fine.
So, the Cliff Notes version of what she gives you after talking about it all, and if you want to go into a conversation after I've given you this, then by all means. So, Almeria is a white dragon. The country that she occupies, the territory she occupies, tends to be on the colder side. the air is always crisp and clean. There are long winters, and the summers tend to be quite cool as well. The sky is never grey. It's always clear, very few clouds in the sky. Everything is very crisp and clean. Then the cities that she tends to occupy are made white as well. So kind of alabaster, marble, chalk in some cases for temporary kind of carvings and things like that as well. The entire city shines. It's kind of expected that the center of every village has some sort of central bazaar made of the same type of stone, and then after that the commoners can just have like kind of wooden huts and things like that. But the center of every dwelling, of every settlement, needs to have this very clean architecture, clean curves, straight lines, almost geometric to a fault. Almeria herself lives in a huge spired tower, almost like a wizard's tower, that goes down into a palace itself. Think very kind of Taj Mahal in that it has a beautiful big dome, kind of regular columns. Everything has a beautiful symmetry about it all. And there's a faraway look on Amelia's eyes when she mentions this, like she's been there, that she's still in awe about it, and that she's very approving of it. There's a kind of there's a love of decoration, music, and artistry for the most part. And but she points out...
Have there been wars? Is she expanding the territory? All that sort of stuff?
No, she doesn't really expand it a huge amount. There have been wars to preserve what she has, but she doesn't seem to be...
She doesn't seem to be power-hungry as my... Yeah, ambitious and power-hungry is what I'm trying to get to.
And when she describes the... when she describes... When you say, "Oh, is it like it is here?" She's like, "Oh, no. The focus here is power, achievement, academia, skills. That's why they praise artisans here in that other city. I can't remember which one it's called. There's that. We celebrate one of the highest tiers in our society are artists, musicians, celebrities." That arise, that are loved by the people. Those who are loved by the people are collected around Almeria, and because she is the most beloved of all, of course. And then your workers, your craftsmen. If the craftsmen make things of beauty, then they tend to rise up. If it's just functional, they kind of stay at a lower tier, and the rest of the people are just expected to do what they can do, but there are wonderful celebrations. There are huge galleria of art.
Cora is totally imagining Bebop doing a concert in front of a freaking white dragon and a beautiful tower right now. She's just like picturing this contrast of stuff, but she's like, yeah, I can see him doing that. That'll be cool. But sorry, Karen.
It would sure as fuck try.
It sounds like Almeria is kind of more of a socialite, patron of the arts, certainly, but you think that there's a certain amount of... that she just does things a different way.
Yeah.
She seems to have wealth and finery, and she uses culture as her main weapon. If you talk at all about, do you have any wars? She loves us. Oh well, not many. We are taught to preserve what we have, which is why many people like myself, I've raised myself quite high in society. I'm able to protect, and again, she kind of ripples the air in front of her. As a shield mage, I'm able to keep it so that. That none of the Great White Dragon cities are destroyed or scarred or defaced in any way.
Does she like her Does she like riches though? Do people bring riches
Oh,
from around the
yes.
world?
Oh, around the world, she prefers created beauty rather than natural beauty. So when it's riches from around the world, she will allow gemstones, but she doesn't like uncut gemstones. They have to be precisely cut, otherwise they are ruined. She tries to aspire to a level of perfection, as should we all. I mean, my appearance, my hair, my clothing, everything has to be according to what is considered to be the latest and greatest in fashion. We are all expected to be presentable, and those who are not mark themselves by their own choices to be the lesser of society, and would probably end up in the subterranean layer of the city. Give me a history check.
Cora loves her history.
Go on, take a guidance.
Okay, I rolled better than I didn't use D&D Beyond. Sorry, D&D Beyond, we love you, but you're not
We do love you.
sponsoring us,
Sponsor
so-
us. Hashtag
yes.
please sponsor us.
If you sponsor
Please.
us, maybe we'll love you
Please.
more. Right. Ugh, D4s are horrible. Right. Okay, well, that was a 1 again. Oh, well. But, what was I doing? A history check. I don't think I've got anything on history. Nope. So, that is a 14.
14. Yeah, I'll give it to you. You remember at some point you were just thumbing through one of the almanacs that Farewell has in his caravan. And it does say
I was looking
that,
for a diary, but whatever.
that there was you just were looking at what seems to be like a cross-section cutout of a city in Scalra. And you remember there was a top-level street and an under-level street. The under-level street wasn't looking so nice, but the top-level street looked perfect.
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely imagining, that all of the ugly people and the less desirable people and all that stuff just live in the caves and, the mines of the city type thing. So she's definitely got that image. Yeah.
Designated ugly at birth.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that she used the thing they mark themselves as well made me think they like deliberately scar themselves or something. There was definitely some weird imagery in Cora's head, at least, whether or not it was intentional.
Who knows? You're finding out more dragon history. I'm loving this. Some of this is what me and Simon talk about whenever he and Corinne are in Sweden, because,
Yeah. So where
Dragon.
is the white dragon area in comparison to where we
I
are?
wanna
Is
go
this
home.
are they all in?
I haven't
is
yet
Scalra-
mapped out Scalra,
But
but they are not
Scalra-
adjacent.
we
Where
have
all
mapped
the
out
dragons
where
are.
Atoll Saran is.
Sure,
That's it.
Yeah.
but
And
Scalra
Atoll
itself
Zaran,
is
bear
like
in
a
mind,
dragon
is like
area.
not even a 30th of this continent. It's
No,
a huge
so they-
continent.
they all these like it's almost like each dragon has a
Yeah.
country / whatever area.
Yeah,
Okay,
so the way that it works-
Saran isn't. As I say, it shouldn't be that because it's only one part for like one black dragon.
Yeah, it's
just
a tiny part of
tiny
Scalra.
part,
Yeah, it's influential, but it's a tiny part of Scalra. So the way that it works is that Scalra is where the dragons retreated to back in Illyria's history. When a dragon takes over some of the territory, a form of magical terraforming goes on depending on what dragon claims it as its territory, which is why there's no reliable maps in Atoll Zaran because the borders keep changing.
Yeah.
As
They
each
change all the time.
Yeah,
Like-
as dragons gain dominance, they will find that their lands will creep out and they will start to subsume the territory of other dragons. Yeah, I kind of put a rod for my own back there because it means I'll never be able to draw Atoll Zaran other than its borders. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know. You can. You just be like, this slice in time is how it looked at this point.
Yeah, I could do maybe the present as it stands at a particular episode or something. But yeah, so that's why the dragons have this kind of infighting, this kind of civilized jihad, is that they're fighting amongst themselves just to make sure that they have a larger territory.
Yeah. They need to do something.
Cool.
So yeah, I do actually have a picture of Almeria, but I don't know how I would be able to share it. Trying to see if I can get. I don't think I could share it. It's in the Ilaria guide at the moment. I should. Yeah. I didn't realize we were going to go that. It's on
the deepest
the first Scourer page. Almeria the White Dragon. She's bottom right. Tactician Kate did a bunch of them. So at Tactician Kate,
I remember those.
Wanted some reference or wanted some things to practice on, and bless her, she did a load of things. She did Almeria, Ephra, Helgara. I think Helgara is my favorite. Ceradon. So we do actually have a picture of the dragon that kidnaps Smoke. So yeah, I was very pleased about that. We got some lovely pics there. Some lovely sketches.
Kidnapped. She kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on what.
It depends on your legal definitions.
Yeah.
So,
anyways.
Kate, yeah, you get that. Getting a handle on this, Almeria and Amelia, who seems to be a card-carrying member of that, likes to have pomp and royalty, likes to be seen as cultured, rather than. Give me a nature check.
Nature.
It's a deep night of all the checks.
Yeah, we don't roll dice that much. We've rolled suddenly loads today, and they're all crappy pretty much. Nature check. That is a grand total of 6.
No. So yeah, she seems to like to be known for being cultured, for being graceful, for knowing what beauty is, and yeah. And if I didn't say before, she's normally seen as an alabaster-skinned, fey-like humanoid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, an array of beautiful desserts come, and you guys pick and choose and stuff yourself to your heart's delight. And you start to disengage from what has been, I'm sure, a very interesting meal. You have the Sandrine, who, now that she knows that Farewell knows who she is, starts to get a little more confident with being in a social setting again. And she says,
We'll talk later.
And
okay.
And she says,
I'll send someone once I've found a place where we can talk in private, especially if it's to do with, the family.
Sure, I might bring my friends if that's okay.
Oh, please. I do so enjoy a jolly gathering. Goodbye, Mr. Bearbones. Until
Goodbye,
we
and
later.
Yes.
and she gets up, gives you a little kind of awkward curtsy bow. Doesn't know which one to use, but other people are getting up, and she kind of jostles against her.
Precious old lady.
Amelia stands up and says, Sakura, thank you. I rather enjoyed this. Now, if you don't mind, I do have a letter that I need to write for my embassy.
Okay. See you at the dance, probably. There's more to this day, right?
Yes, I'll be joining the dance directly. I'm sure that your presence there would be enjoyable. And she doesn't. You're kind of a knight, and also, she's kind of like, I don't know what to kind of do. So instead, she offers you a hand very elegantly for.
I stand up, but I'm not very high above the table.
Yeah. She kind of shakes your hand over the table. She is quite tall, and she's Ladrin as well, so she's a fairly tall character. And she shakes your hand, gives you a polite smile, and heads off. Herbert is that kind of guy who just doesn't acknowledge when the meal is over, and he's still talking, Eclipse's ear off when the servants come along and say, "Oh, you're going to have to leave now." Okay, well, of course, of course. Anyway, you've got my seal, Eclipse. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, you've got that. Remember, any wax will do. Just stamp that, throw it into a fire. Poof. Okay. No children. Don't throw the children into the fire.
Why
Don't
would
do
I
that.
throw any children?
Well, you use them to carry pieces of paper from where you come from. But anyway, so yeah.
Probably not.
Yes,
No,
just
I think
just
this
the
is-
paper.
I
Just
think
the
like
paper.
throwing children into fire is like. I think that's a dragon thing.
Is it now?
I don't know.
Is it now?
It sounds like something they would do.
Okay, well, I don't know much about dragons. I must admit.
Uh,
Okay. Anyway, write me. And he hops down from the chair and starts running after a guy who, when the guy sees him, starts walking faster.
yeah.
The last to kind of break up is Excellence, Glory, and Hope. You've made small talk with Freynia, with your mother, with Revenant, and there's a general getting up and kind of chatting to each other and kind of confirming each other's plans for the rest of the evening. You see that Freynia pretty much goes straight to Ideal and starts kind of whispering in her ear. Both him and her well accomplished to not letting it show on their face when they're conspiring. And Ideal grabs his hand, seems to squeeze it a little bit, whispers into his ear almost like he was her partner. And you know how that kind of personal space and things that you whisper, you get just that little bit too close. It's almost like Ideal, in the same way that nuns are married to are considered to be married to their god. Almost feel there's that level of I live for you kind of thing going on. And it's something that maybe in your younger years you may not have noticed as much. Whereas now you're a bit more well-traveled, you're like, yeah, people don't do that. I know that now. People don't do that typically. You can see that they, whatever they're conspiring for, they're putting a lot of energy into. The major thing when you're breaking up is that Excellence and Hope. Eclipse is over there. Right,
Yeah,
Excellence.
Eclipse over there and has managed to not get herself into trouble. So.
Excellence
That's way too
and
soon.
Hope.
Much
Yeah.
trouble.
Excellence and Hope kind of corral around you and say, we need to talk about this.
To
Tora?
Versailles?
Oh, and you can see that there's a look. Excellence looks at Hope. Hope blushes. And he says, I'm up for the Versailles if you are.
We can do that.
Are you sure that I'm not going to be depriving you of any of your fun, Glory?
No.
She is a committed woman now, remember?
Yeah. But she's not letting that go quite yet. Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
What can I say? Character growth. Very well. To Versailles. See you then. They part, and with the air of a consummate courier, one hand behind his back, walking through the crowd, acknowledging various people, laughing and joking, putting more of a face on it than he did before. Excellence is now almost being as much Glory as Glory. Kind of calling out to connections, towing the family line that he's only barely related to. Really making a show of it. Kind of blowing as much of a smokescreen as he can. Hope goes, God, look at him. I guess we better do the same. She takes both of your hands, squeezes them. You can tell she's nervous.
Don't worry. We can do this.
We can do this.
Anyways, sing me the first dance, would you?
Guaranteed. She lets go, brushes down her dress, and you notice that, well, others would notice, you already knew it would be the case. She has certain amounts of her priestess garb mixed in with the etiquette outfit. Although, as you said, the Telka Kirkles can pretty much wear whatever they want as long as it's compliant with certain key indicators. And she starts walking up to some of the more sober members of the gathering and playing the priestess.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that there's a writhing throng of people getting up out of chairs. Now that they're able to mix and choose who they go to speak to, you can see that there are people going off to impress certain people that they didn't have the station to sit near before, trying to impress their lot. This is very much, it's almost like a stock exchange with everybody calling over each other, everyone name dropping or calling out to get the attention of somebody. And you know, you were built for this. This is your battlefield. If you're going to be able to get any help or any extra information, this could be the place where it needs to be. The top table steps through a rear door, but everybody else is expected to go through the double doors, yourselves included. You're expected to mingle, and you guys watch as Glory steps into the crowd, and presumably you guys start plotting a course to meet up with her.
Yes, Eclipse is there in an instant.
I was about to say it's a difficult place, but you're a cat. You could probably do it.
Yeah.
So it's 11 o'clock now. When we come in next session, I guess there will be a certain amount of note sharing throughout you all, being that I flicked a bunch of you in the personal storyline.
Oh, my poor boy.
I'm having a lot of fun, Simon.
I'm glad.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Bear in mind,
Horrible
this is like
people, you all.
This part of the campaign so far is that, you know, Felicia came up with some ideas. I was like, yeah, I'm sure I can do something with that. I can do something with that, and all the rest of it. So now she's seeing the outcome of that. So I'm really glad that she's enjoying it, because I'm kind of going to her expectations here. And I'm loving some of the characters that you can find in this setting as well. So.
Oh yeah, that too. I must admit, when we started it, I didn't expect that I would practically write Glory's storyline myself. But also, I'm very glad I can just give you these grandiose ideas and you actually make them reality.
I love it. One of the things, and this is why I would always have trouble writing a book, is that the type of writing that I love most of all is just throwing raw materials at the players, and then kind of what I get back from you, I'm like, oh, that just happened. Okay, kind of thing. And I love that kind of co-storytelling. So. Yeah. Anyway, as I say, it's 11 o'clock here, so we're stopping our game. A big thank you to Nick, Kate, Felicia, and Corinne for the story today. I'm Simon. As always, it is my honor to be your storyteller.
And we have a big thank you to you as well, Simon.
Well, that's what I said.
If you enjoyed our particular brand of madness, please check out the Discord or follow us for other broadcasts. Our next broadcast is going to be on Monday night, where Felicia, Corinne...
I was the food cart. I haven't seen them in chat.
Oh,
before,
thank you.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
We'll be on Monday again, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. UK time. We'll be hitting the high seas of Valeria again on the way back.
Again.
Well, actually, it won't be the high seas because you'll be in Port Farouk.
No, we're still in port.
You're
I'm
still
gonna create a meal for nobility?
For nobility and the Rosali. In
Yes.
the hope that you can loosen some tongues.
Do some more mind reading.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna have to be the socialite. I'm just a cook.
Yeah, no, definitely. They like Shuren's entire thing about being a socialite and like reading people's minds because she doesn't have good insight. but instead of she just skips that part and just read their mind.
And we will be joined, of course, by our viewer / cast, with Hermit throwing their acid, Defrate wielding their great axe, Prime with his new necrotic pistol, and so on. I've got a little
Please,
something.
everyone, come join us, because
Yep.
the chat, is also playing with us.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're the crew. You're a skag, and you just.
Oh,
It's
the time
always
yet.
great.
Almost, Hermit, almost. Just a few more days. Till
And I've been
Monday.
kicking around ideas for what to give to Scornfuse, because Scornfuse has been role playing their little hearts out, and we love the kobold as well. If you haven't been in the artist room, go see the little guilty kobold on the barrel. It's so cute.
Yes,
so adorable. He's so adorable.
So I've got some ideas. In fact, an old friend of mine from Twitter recently gave me an idea for that.
Thank
as
you,
well.
Jazzman.
Oh, thank you, Jasmine. It's nice to see you here again. That's when our next podcast is going to be. Please stick around, because we are going to go raid, show some love to some of our friends on the wider internet. But I'm going to hand over to Kate to do the credit scene, and as I say, we'll do some raiding, and then after that, after a long week, I've got a new job on Monday. I'm going to hit
some
the sack.
time to relax and de-stress.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Thank you.
Night.